Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Magic and Miracles, where you learn how to be the magician of your life. Quite literally. I'm a manifestation coach. All the information is below. I coach by emails and audios. All the packages are on my website. I prefer you use Cash App for payment, it's a lot quicker. And I also recommend spending at least a month with me. It's a monthly subscription, which includes unlimited emails and audios with me tailored to help your particular situation. In my practice, I just found that, you know what, 5 emails or 5 audios, it just barely scratches the surface of somebody's mindset and ultimately doesn't really help a person. So if you want to start off with 5 audios or 5 emails with me and then get the monthly, that's fine. But keep in mind that it's best to commit to this practice for at least a month to really see lasting results and a shift in consciousness, which will help you keep manifesting good results for the rest of your life. Okay, because what I teach is everything I've studied for the last 10 years, more than that now. And everybody I've coached has had breakthroughs, and because it's just the truth and it works. Anyway, if I do say so myself, but it's just the truth. It's basic knowledge that I think everybody should study and know. And you know what? I wish children were taught that in school. So, we don't have to find that out later in life. I want to keep talking about the specific person because I'm kind of getting inspirations to talk about this. And it has to do with telling a story. So most people who want to manifest their specific person back or manifest a different version of them are in a situation where either they're not talking to this person, they have no contact with this person, or this person is not nice to them at that moment. Something is going on where the situation is bad, basically. So whatever the situation is, it really doesn't matter. So I really want to say this, okay, before I continue. I don't care how bad you think the situation is. I don't care how impossible you think that it is. There is a solution for you, and the solution already exists. Okay, so there's not a single kind of scenario that you can come up with and say, oh, no, my situation is so special, I am so special with my special situation. No, you're not. Because you know what? The reason how can I say this? The reason your situation exists even is because there's already a solution. And I'll tell you something else. The solution was created simultaneously with the situation that you're in. In fact, it already always existed. But let's not get into deep in this particular audio. Okay, so what I really wanted to drive home with you this time around is no matter how bad the situation is right now for you, you can change it. And the way you change it is, number one, by acknowledging that on some level, on a very direct level, you created the situation. There's a reason why you created the situation. You are the creator of your reality. And let's just start off by really 100% claiming responsibility for our creations. There is no blame attached to this, by the way. Big difference. There is no blame. It's just an acknowledgement and a responsibility that you created this. Now, you have to understand that there's a reason why you created this. You're a lot smarter than you think you are. And so you're either learning something from the situation, or the situation will turn around in a way where it serves you much better, where instead of everything being just hunky-dory. So you created this bad situation for a reason that it serves you, in other words. Okay? But regardless of the reason you created it, the way to start seeing improvement of any kind is to ignore reality. Yes, ignore reality. Ignore everything on the outside. It really doesn't matter. You already created the situation. It was a long time ago. What matters is what you create now. And so take your delusion all the way. And I use delusion with a complementary meaning behind it, connotation behind it. Delusion means I ignore reality. But that is exactly what's necessary to create something new. How are you going to address your reality and not create it all over again? Yes, you have to become delusional to create something new. And if that's news to you, well then congratulations, you've learned something new today. You can say, oh, but look at all these facts, and this is like this, and this is like that, and I am so angry about that, and I'm lonely about this. I don't care. You can keep telling the story till the end of time as far as I'm concerned, and you know what? Not a goddamn thing will change. It's only when you realize that you've constructed this very story that you're telling, that you created this story, that there's no outside influence, there's no outside force, there's no outside power, as it were, that you're the god of your reality, and even the story that you're fucking complaining about all day long, you created. Okay, so instead of complaining about it and being miserable, just all of a sudden start right now and create a new fucking story that now you can recount just as adamantly and passionately instead of the old story, and create happiness in your life. It's just a little shift of perspective. And you know what? Here's what I have to say to you. Just as your bad story worked so well, and it was true and 100% authentic, in a like manner, your new happy story will replace the old story and will be true and authentic. You don't need to figure out how it's going to happen. You don't need to collect and gather all the components of the story. No, you don't need to do any of that. All you gotta do is start telling a new story, script a new story. Hold that new vibration of that new story. Like, I'll give you an example. It's summer now, and I hate bugs. And, sometimes I get a mosquito flying around and biting me, Like, I have one right now. And it's like flying around me. And usually I would chase it. And I'd be chasing it all over my place and, trying to kill it. But now I'm just like, I learned better. All I have to do is sit still and know that I am the god of my reality, and I will attract it. It will come to me. The solution will come to me if I just hold the vibration of the solution. What is the solution? I'm going to kill the sucker. Okay? And then I'll be at peace without being afraid that it's going to bite me. In a like manner, you don't worry about what's going on outside. You don't chase the solution. You don't try to devise it. You don't try to concoct how am I going to, you just change on the inside. You change the storyline. You know that you're in control of your story because you create the fucking story. You hold the vibration of the knowing that the new story all of a sudden right now takes the place of the old one. And whatever you think happened in the past or whatever, it exists no more. In fact, it never even existed because we've established on this channel that we believe in parallel realities. It's not so much that we believe in parallel realities, we just acknowledge the existence of parallel realities, and this is how reality actually is created. And I think, for people to not know that is to not really be authentic about how actually, physical reality exists and how movement is created in the physical reality and all that kind of stuff. What I want to make clear is that being desperate, being miserable is an option. You can do that. If it's for you, go for it. Maybe it's entertaining. I don't know. But when you understand that it's just an option, that there are other good options where you can just change your mind, change your mindset, and really understand that you've always had the skill set to create a new story. You just maybe didn't believe that you could, or weren't aware that you could. I don't know. But once you change the story, the 3D changes in turn. There's a slight delay, there is that, which is why you have to be persistent. And it's like, are you persistent in complaining about your current situation? Of course you are, because it's so obvious to you. Well, to change your reality, you have to be just as persistent in being consistent with talking about this reality, affirming your reality, scripting about your reality, and imagining your reality. It's the same exact process, but it's reverse. So in order to switch realities, you have to be just as in love and adamant about the new reality as you are about the bad one. That's all. That's all there's to it. And yes, when you change the present, okay, I'm going to tell you something really profound, so better take notes. When you change the present, the past changes automatically. Of course, the future changes, of course, yes, but nobody tells you that the past changes too. So when you rewrite your story, when you rescript it, reimagine it, and revise it, the past is no longer the past. So whatever the fuck you were complaining about in the past doesn't exist. Can I tell you this again? It literally doesn't exist. This person that you thought was one way, when you rescript and rewrite them, and when you change the story, they were never that way. That situation was never that way. It was a misunderstanding. It was a miscreation. It was a different reality. However you want to label it, it just never was that way. So whatever you remember from the parallel reality of the bad situation isn't even accurate. So why are you repeating it again? It's not even relevant. You want to create something completely different, something completely authentic to your preference now. Therefore, you change the now and you change the past, and off you go to a happily ever after future. That's all. That's all you really have to do. Thanks so much for listening. All the information is below. Until next time. Ciao, ciao.